py. Here I'm going to create one book model. So we are going to create one class which is or I can copy the model here much easier. Book model. No need to type, we can save the time. You know that, right? How to create a class? Just create one file for book model. I call it book. The class is book, and I have this number of field that's given by OUSL. This is the condition. These are the field that we should have it: ISBN number, title, book format, subject, rental price, and copies. Now you should have initialization method, the basic initialization method. Whenever you pass any value, it will be assigned to the local variable here, right? It will create. So now simply we created a book model here. Now in the testing Python, I'm going to say import and the file name, which is book model, from import, yes, import book model from book model import book. This is the way. So now what you do now, simply by doing this one from book model, from this book model table, you are importing a book. If you want to create an instance of the class, you have to do that. Otherwise, the class is inaccessible. Now I'm going to create a new instance of a book. So say a book is equal to a book. When I press open and close bracket, it's asking now the data for all the books. So we have to enter the title. First is ISBN number. Sorry, ISBN number is equal to, for example, ISBN 0001. Title is equal to title. And then book format. I'm giving I'm giving the value, the attribute name with the value. You can also give the value in the correct order, but I always love this way. Format book. For example, I'm going to say format, and then subject, say science, and then rental price equal to 2.50, and this is copies is equal to 5. So very simply, you created a new book object, and then you store it in one book. Now they show us they have multiple. Actually, initially they gave us the 3 books, right? So ISBN 1, ISBN 2, ISBN 3. I'm going to call it title 1, title 2, title 3, format 1, format 2, and format 3. And I'm going to keep the subject as this, and this is 12, 22, 32. Again, we are going to put 1, 2, 3. Now we have an individual objects, right? I create instant of a class, a book, maybe a book 1, a book 2, a book 3. I have 3 books, but individual 3 objects. This will be a problem for us when you write a program. So how can I store all of them in one place? Yes. Can I do something like this? For example, books is equal to, so what is this? It's a list, right? I created one list called books. This is my name. I'm giving them a book's name called books. After you create the instance, you create 3 books individually, one by one book. I'm going to say books dot append book 1. Now I am inserting this data to this list because you will be needing it all for all your project. So I'm inserting this item to the books. Similarly, I'm going to insert 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So now what happened? Now I have only one object. I create one object for the book class and with the values, and I add that book to this list. I add the book 2 to the list again and book 3 to the list again. So now the book list is the one that I need for all my transactions. I'm going to use that variable for all my transactions. So simply I'm going to say print books. If you want to print the first item, I'm going to say book 0. Let's see if I run what will happen. I'm running now simply. Yes, we cannot convert it. Books is what I printed for example. If you say dot, you can get the ISBN number, for example. Now let's see, it will show you the first index ISBN number, which is ISBN 0001. If you want to access the second number, second item, should be index number 1. When you run it, we find that is also ISBN 1. What is this? Right. I did not save it. I'm so sorry. I did not save it, so it's running the whole exe. So now it's ISBN 2. Whenever I change something here, index number 2, see the white color dot is saying that your file is not saved. So save it now and run it again. So ISBN 3. Very simple, right? So we have only one object. You add everything to that. Now, if now in our project they ask you to show all the available items from the books, right? So how can you do that? Simply, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a folder here. I'm going to say for X in books. That means books is containing now, as of now, 3 books. I mean, books mean plural is containing 3 individual. Now, if we say X in books, that means it will take first item. Then you can do whatever you like. So I'm going to say print, and you know this method, right? F, you know that, right? For example, I'm going to say ISBN number colon. I'm going to put a variable here. What is a variable? X dot ISBN number. It's giving me a small mark here because it's a simple X. It's not a capital X, it's a simple X. But ISBN number. Now I'm saying comma. What is the second thing? The title. Title column. Again, I'm going to introduce a variable here, which is X dot title, comma. I'm printing all the values of the book in a manner. So now a title. The second one is a format colon, and then variable again, which is X is equal to book underscore format, right? Comma. This other one, subject colon, again variable X dot subject, comma, rental price is too much already. Rental price colon, then again variable here X dot rental underscore price, then comma, or you can say available copies, again variable X dot copies. So let's see now what's going to happen. So here I don't need this anymore. I'm just simply printing X in book. So it will go one by one. First, it will take the first item. It will print all the line. Then it will take the second item. It will print all the line. Third item, print all the line. Let's run and see how does it work. Oh, great. So we are getting all the items. It's printing here. I did not forget to clear this area and I forget to save this as well. I'm running now. So it gets the details of all books. It's good, right? Okay. Now I want to print this one more time. What can I do? I want to do the same thing one more time. So there's no way that you have to copy this and paste it here and execute it. Save it, execute it. Okay, 2 times is printing. But this is no longer good in object-oriented programming. What you are doing is completely wrong. So what you have to do, you have to create it as a small function and do that. So I'm going to make it as a function. Very simple. Define, right? And print details. Okay, and then open brackets. Now I have to move all of them to here. Now, if you access some data directly without passing a variable, this is very bad. So what you have to do, you have to pass a variable here, call it list underscore of books. This is just a variable name. I'm just creating a variable name. I'm going to use this variable here. So I'm changing my code to functions. I'm changing my code to a function now. Now, if you want to access this, simply you call the function here called print details. In between bracket, you have to call the books, pass the books here. So now this will call y. Yeah, because the print detail should be one underscore should be there. That's the warning here. What is the warning here? Print detail is not defined. Yeah. Okay, it should be defined in the top. So now it's okay. The function has to be in the top in order to execute. So put all the functions in the front. I bring my things down here. This is what I'm trying to do now. Function is in the top. I create one variable which is to hold all the books and I add all the books to the list here. I'm calling this function. Now if I want, I'm saving it now, running it here to make sure that the answer is correct. Answer is correct. Now if I want one more set of this one, simply copy and paste. So it's printing 6 times. In case in the future, if we found it, okay, I don't want to say rental price. I want to say only the price. Okay, go and change it here. Only one single place changing it. Whenever you run, everything will be changed like a price. You understand? Not like a rental price. So that's very important that you have to use everything too. So now we created a simple class, a book model, very simple class, and don't use it anything anymore. Just close that and simply whenever you want to use, say from a book model, import book. You're importing a book and do whatever you like. So this is the book class. It's here, the book model. In case if you want to see what is inside, you can press Control and click. Or see, even if you highlight that, it's showing you the class. ISBN number, string, and this is float and this is integer. Automatically showing you. Now the question is, from the main menu, how can I display these details? This will be an issue, right? How I will handle my variable, where I save it, and how to call it. That will be a really big issue here. So what we are doing now simply, initially when you run the program, you don't want to see this all. We want the program to be ready with the data and it should work. So what you have to do simply, you have to have another class which is holding everything, not in the main program. If we keep it in the main program, that will be a big program, because now what we are doing for the book model only. In book model, we have too many options. Print, display, let's say display all books, and display unavailable books, display available book, add book, remove book, lend book, and receive book. So 6 options. And for it will be 24 options in one file. It's a crime already. You should not do that. You should do it book another class, DVD it will be another class, CD will be another class, magazine will be another class. So I'm going to create another class which will be taking use of the book class. This is the way actually to do that. Otherwise, you will be end up with the pain actually. So keep everything in mind. Keep it like this. I'm going to create call function. I'm going to call it book function .py file. Very simple. It's also a class. Again, class. I call it book function. Okay. Now I'm going to take use of the initiate method. So I'm going to say defined underscore initialization, and they are saying self. I don't need self. In this class, I don't need to pass any parameters. I don't want this class to have any parameter, because usually when you want to do, you have to do like this, right? For example, anything you like, name, for example, then you do self dot name, which is equal to name, right? This is what we usually do. So I'm here, and I don't need anything. In the initialization, I'm going to create one array, one list to hold the books. So I'm going to say self dot list of books is equal to empty. This, if you really focus on this side, it will be very easy for you. Only one time you will be doing it and copying and changing it. For the DVD, CD, and everything, it's just a simple method of doing it. So now I create one function called book function. First one is a book model, only creating a model of a book with the properties, with the attribute, and initialize method with initialize. That's it, nothing else. That's it. Now we are creating a book function. The book function, basically, it will have one function called add book or add. That's it. It will be like this. Now I'm going to say pass. You know pass, right? Pass means I'm going to implement later. I'm not going to write all the query here. So the book function will have a add facility, and book function will have a remove facility, removing the book, and it will have a called lend book. Just call it lend, don't call it book, lend book, lend only. And then if you after you lend, you should have a receive function, right? Different call receive. What else you will have it here? Yeah, you will have another option called display available, right? Display available. Pass depends display unavailable. So don't you feel that it's very easy if we create one instance of the book function? You can add, you can remove, you can lend, you can receive, you can display available, you can display unavailable, and we will create something called display all, just for to show you easily. Find display underscore all. So this number of functions that you are going to have it inside the book function class. You will have this number of functions: adding, removing, lending, receiving, display all, display available, display unavailable. Right. So we construct the class. We created a class with the basic functionalities. Now we have to write the code for every single function. Now initially you need all the books, right? You need all the books, so it will be easy for you to display a number of books. So we wrote the code here. So shall we use this one? Okay, I'm going to use this code. I'm going to copy this one. I go to the book function here. In order to use the book model, you have to say that from book model import book. Now I create a small function here. I'm going to call it double quote initial data. Do you know what is this one? The initial data. Why I put double quote? Anyone knows? Anyone can like to answer? Anyone wants to answer this? This is a private function. If you put double underline, double underscore, this is called a private function. So when anyone creates an instance of this one, they cannot see this. This is only private, only inside this class. Nobody else can access this option. Now I created 3 instances of a book 1. Now I want to add these books to the list of books. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, which is self dot list. It's not showing here. The pie chart is showing nicely. Books is dot append. In the pie chart, it's beautifully showing here. I forgot to pass this up here. Maybe that's why it's not showing. Yeah, that's my mistake. Okay. And I'm going to append the book 1. I'm going to copy this, paste 2 and 3, and it will be book 2 and book 3. So this is a class. When you create an instance of a class, the initialization method will load, and it will create a list of book, which is the list, empty list. Then I am going to call this. So I'm going to call say self dot initialization date, and here I'm going to pass self. So what's happening here? Maybe it seems to be like crazy. Why is it doing this all this shit, right? I'm creating a book function, and it will do the initialization method, which is like a constructor, and it's initializing the list of books with the empty list. Then it's calling this one. When it calls, it's creating an instant of a book 1, book 2, and book 3, and adding these books to this list. So now this list has 3 books inside automatically for you. Okay. Now, just keep in mind, this will be doing, it will be adding all the books to the list of books. Now we will go and see how to display all the value. Very simple. We did it here. Oh, where is our for loop? Yeah, it's here. So in the for loop, I'm going to print everything. I'm going to copy this. Okay, I'm going to copy this book function. I'm going to put it here. This is print details. It will print everything here. I'm going to call it display all. I want to like to call this. I don't want to pass any parameter here. We will see how we can do that. Instead of the list of books, I'm going to use this list, which is the initial list here. Yeah, this one. Self dot. And here you have to pass this. Actually, all your functions should pass the self as a first parameter. Actually, that will be the best way. So everything will be using right. So now very simple. One class have an initialization method that's calling initial data insert, which is inserting all the three books immediately to the list. And now one function is ready. Other functions we did not do anything here. One function display all. It's taking one item from the list of books. List of books. It's going in a loop and it's printing all the books here. So let's see this function. Let's see how it's going to work and what will be the easy part. So now I don't need any of these things here. Nothing. I don't care about this test file. I'm going to erase it because I have everything. I did it in my book function class. So now here, if you want to work, okay, where is this? If you want to work here with the testing one, you have to say from book function import book function. This is a file name actually. Book function is a file name.
Just bring your teeth. That's your teeth.
Okay. This is a file name and you're importing the book function. It's very easy to understand, don't complicate, it's very, very easy. This is the function name. We're importing this function name. Now, from here, I'm going to create a small instance. So call it a book underscore func or any name. It's equal to book function. I don't need to pass anything. Now, from this instance, very simple now. This is your main program. You're going to say book function dot. You see here, display all, display available, display unavailable, length, receive, remove, all the menu, add, everything is here. Now if I say display all, that's all. Very simple. Now if you run this program, it will display all the books. This is an importing method. This is how you connect a different Python file to this file. The testing file will receive instruction from the book function. When you go inside the book function, this book function is receiving some data from the book model. Book model is the model. It's taking this model and inserting to this file in the book function and doing all the work. Now we are inserting the book function file to the testing file. So when I run, I'm going to run only this. Let's see what's going to happen now. Okay, there's a small error here. File left is in 3, book function, Python line 6 initializes, self-initialize data self. Book function data takes one position argument but 2 were given. That's a small issue here actually. It takes one positional argument but 2 were given. This is the problem. I hope this is the problem. So I'll run now. Yes. Because self argument you don't need to pass. But for every declaration of a function, you should have a self, but don't need to pass that. So now see, by looking this code, you are printing all the list of displaying all the books. Very simple, right? All your codes are here. Now, if you want to change anything related to books, come to this file and change. No need to go anywhere else. Everything is here. Now, let's say you would like to remove a book here. Let's see how to remove a book. I'm going to simply ask a user input the ISBN number. Okay. Now I'm saying, for example, ISBN is equal to input. You just enter ISBN number. Now we will be entering the ISBN number. You do your validations later. You enter the ISBN number. Now ISBN number is here. Now how to identify whether this ISBN number is available in this. Where's your books now? All of your books now is in the list of books. This is the list variable inside this function. So list of books is here, which is self.list of books. How to identify? The problem is here now how to identify this. I found one method here. For example, match data. I call it match data is equal to the in between bracket for x in self list box, and again here for x if x dot actually I search it also in the internet, otherwise I have no idea, equal the ISBN number that is entering. What is this? A very simple command. You remember like this for x in, so you know that it will go one by one for x in self list one by one. If x ISBN number, every single item, if the ISBN number is equal to the ISBN number that you are entering, so always is much better to use double quote line here. So this means it's a private variable. It's not available anywhere else. So ISBN number, you are entering ISBN number, it's taking and saving it in ISBN. Now it's giving this ISBN number to check. So now this is a match data. In that case, very simply you have to convert the match data to the list. Convert to list. That is very important. So I'm converting to the list. Now this is a list. Now here you have to do a simple for condition here. For x in match data, okay. Simply you remove that. Remove, how you remove it? This one, self dot list of books dot remove the bracket. You have to give the item. What is the item? X. X means the item that you are getting it. Here it's you are entering ISBN number. I'm storing it in the variable. After that, this command will filter that ISBN number and it will give you only that record. I convert it to list again. It's a list. Now from the list, I'm continuously looping. Then I'm removing the item from the X. And after that also, give a small message, print item removed. You did it. Okay. So here you validate that if the ISBN number is empty, you do something. Tell them invalid the ISBN number. Simple messages. Now how to call this one? Go to the main table. Now we are displaying all. Now I'm going to remove book function dot remove, right? And I call the remove. First I'm displaying all. Now I'm removing. Let's see how it's going to work. I'm entering. Yeah, now we cannot do it here. We have to go to the terminal. You have to go to the run and debug and run it here. It's asking enter the ISBN number. So I'm going to enter the ISBN number, ISBN BN 0002 and enter. I removed, but the program is quit already, so I don't know whether it's removed or not. So I'm going to display all again, or I'm going to put it here after I remove. So I know that initially, okay, we'll put it before and remove it and after. We'll see that. I'm running now. Entering the ISBN number ISBN 0002 and entering it. Now it's removed and it's showing only 2 items. Right? Wait. So this is how you remove. Very simple, right? Okay. Now let's do one or more functions only, not too many actually. Right, I'm going to the book function now. So we are implementing little by little. But if you see all of them at one time, it's a mess, right? I mean, wow, my God, too many codings. This is how you have to do. First, declare your functions and populate one by one, little by little, little by little, it will be perfectly all right. See now we have very simple thing here: display available and display unavailable. Let's try. So shall I make this copies to 0? So this is unavailable and these two are available. It's okay because I don't want to enter data. So I'm going to in this area I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So now what will happen if I post it here? It's it will print all the books. Now I want to print only available and unavailable. So even unavailable area it will be there, right? The same code. Now according to the object oriented concept, you are duplicating this code. So you should not do that. So simply what you have to do, this area you have to create another function. This is how life works with the function and function, but it's very good for you. Define. This time you have to create a private function, print. We call it print. And then you have to pass also self always and colon. Here I'm pasting this. In addition to the self, I'm going to pass one more variable which is called x. X means the book instance. I don't like to call it x. I'm going to rename it. Right click and rename symbol. Instead of x, call it a simple book, for example. So what happened now? Instead of writing this line, simply you call this function here, which is print, and bracket you pass x. What is this x? What the x is? Did I do some mistakes here? What's happening here? There are some small issues here. Yeah, because as I told you last time, I forgot to do that. This should be in the top, otherwise you cannot use the function. So I cut it here and I put it somewhere else. For example, here after the initialization. So now it will work. It should work now. It's not defined like that. 2 underscore line with the print. I think this should be in the top. Here. Yeah, in some places it's like a private function. Some functions it's like this. I have no idea why. I just put it here. It's working fine. So now I'm going to call it. I'm going to say book is equal to x. So it's very easy if you do this method. One function. I'm going to copy it here, and whenever I want to paste here, put it here. Right? Very simple. So the printing functions in one place, but you are using it inside three functions. You are calling this function inside this three functions. So it's much better to have one private function that's being called by these three functions here. So now display all will work fine. Okay, see, but display available and display unavailable will be different. So what you have to do simply, you have to do this function again here, this method. What you have to do, if it is available, you have to filter that. So match data is equal to this way. What do you call that? This one, the copies. Where copies, if it is available means copy where greater than 0. Then you have to use the match data here instead of this. And also here the same thing. Here I should say equal to 0. equal to 0. Sometimes we forget to put a small thing showing error here, but see, so that now the thing's fixed. Display available means where the copy is greater than 0. Display unavailable means the copy is equal to 0. Display all means without filter, you just display everything, right? And this is removing, we already did it. And for the add and the length and the receive, we did not do that yet. So this is very simple way, right? Let's go and check display available and display unavailable. I don't need to remove it. Display available, and then I give a small command print here. Display unavailable. Okay. Right. So I'm going to run this now. Okay, some problem here. Name book function print. Where is that? In a book function Python line 43. In a book function line 43 has an issue here. It can print. Maybe it seems to be complicating. I have no idea. Let's see. Let's see. Same thing. Function print is not defined. Maybe I'm doing a mistake here. Or we will do one thing instead of making it private, because I don't want you to confuse much at the moment. I'm going to make it a normal function. Okay. I'm going to remove the private notification here, and then I'm going to remove it here. So this will work for sure, but I privatized my file. I did so many things, and now you see that again. Books invalid keyword argument for print. It is. We have something called print here anywhere else? No. We did a big mistake here. You see the print, this is a reserved keyword. We should not use this one anymore. So we call it print in. We call it print info. Okay, that is very important. That's why we had the issue maybe last time. Function name has to be different. Print info. It's not defined. What's wrong with this? It's not showing here. Guys, am I making a mistake here? Can anyone tell me? One second. Define exit. So, back for x86 here. It's giving me a headache now. It's not this.
Don't know. Go and check time. Go from the clock.
I have no idea why it's giving this issue. We should not. Sometime in programming it happens, then you will feel so pained. Now maybe I'm wasting your time. So far, no issues at all. It worked before, right? Without any issues at all. We use it here. You try this. Info is equal to testing. Okay, I don't know why it's making me maybe I'm doing some mistakes here. Now this time it's working. I'm just putting the print info outside. Last time I called print. That's wrong. We should not use that print name at all. So I say print info and put it outside the class. And when I run it, see I have two lines. One is printing all the available resources with the copies 1 and 3, and printing all the unavailable resources, which is copies equal to 0. See, you can very easily you can access it. The final thing we will see how to add a book to the system here. And the removing part you can do it. Landing and receiving is easy actually. Did we do the remove? I remove part we did already. Now adding part, very simple. You have to create an instance here like this. Adding a book, right? So you need something, a book 3 or a book, call it a book. So when I call this one now, this book will be added. But how to get this data? Right? ISBN number, title and format and subject and price and everything. Simply you can ask a message from the user, enter the ISBN number, enter the title, enter the format, enter signs, enter subject and renter and copies. Let's try to do that. So I'm going to create a private field here, which is ISBN. ISBN is equal to input enter ISBN number. Okay, so you'll be entering ISBN number. Second thing, that title. Go to input, I'm going to say simply title. So that means enter the title, but you just fill it. Okay. The third is book underscore format equal to again input format. It's up to you if you want your users a luxury wording, like please enter the first book format and give the format that I want to give in my system. You can give it like this. Then you can say underscore subject is equal to input subject. And similarly, price, we call it rental price is equal to input rental price. First, as I told you, better you create a class and create all your functions and do one by one. It will be very easy. If you think all of them at one time, it will be a problem for you. It will be, this is the easiest way for you, okay? Copies is equal to input. Copies. Right. You do all your validations, make sure the copy is a number, the rental price is a float, and whether it's entering a title, book number, subject, everything without empty, without spaces, right? So you have to do that one. You search for that. I implemented it in my system, but I'm telling you. And also I did one more thing, that when you try to enter the same ISBN number again, I'm verifying whether ISBN number that you enter now either is available or not. If it is available, I'm giving a message saying that this ISBN number is duplicating. Okay, so I'm doing that. You can do it. Now, you create a book model instance, and for the value, you have to pass this, not that value that will be hardcode. We get the value here, paste it there. Is it confusing you? Because without the classes, your work will be very high. To use classes, it will be very easy for you. That's why they taught us classes, but it's too close, you know. We don't have a time to practice. Only the people who has a programming background knowledge, right? So when I call add, the add method itself is asking you enter the ISBN number, title, format, subject, rental price, copies. After enter everything accurately, because here I don't do any validations. You validate whether it's empty, whether its price is float, and copies are integers, right? After that, you create an instance of a book ID and equalize all the values, and after that just append and give a small message here. Print, what is that? Added or book added. And then comma inside, book added, then comma here. If you want, you can put something like book, right? I mean this variable dot ISBN number, comma. Then if you want to put a dash inside, dash, then you can put comma here, underscore book dot title. If you want, you can display that book added, this ISBN number, this title. Or it's the same message, you can give it this way as well, right? You can put an F, formatting string, and you can call it here the end, and this will be under the variable. This will be like this. So we don't need comma. It's also another method of combining and displaying the message. Either if you want to use a print command with the individual string, 1, 2 string, and 1, 3 string, and 4 string, or you can simply do like this. Sometimes some people enter the ISBN number in a capital character, some is a simple character. On that case, you can do one thing called, first you can say, here they call it capitalized, but it should be, okay, upper, but it's not showing upper. Is it showing upper here? And there's something called, let me see it there because I forget that. Very new to that. Say, see here, upper and strip. As function called strip. That is trimming. This one, strip. If you have an empty string, it will trim out. Now after that, you can say upper if you want to make all the characteristic capital. So similarly, if you want to do that also for the title, copy and paste it here. And if you want anywhere else, just paste it there. So the variable entirely will be upper. So now we have implemented that function. How to check that function here? Just come to this. We want to add book function dot add. Call it. After you add, I'm going to display book function that display all. So after you add, you should have 3 plus 1 should be 4. Okay, let's try. I'm entering now. Enter the is oh sorry, I cannot do it here. I have to do it here. Enter the ISBN numbers. I call it XYZ A 0 1 2 3 4. Enter. Enter the title. Testing. Harry Potter and Goblet. And format. Maybe copy. Subject. Fiction. Printed price 6.50. Copies 4. So now you get that answers right here. This is the output of ISBN 1, 2, 3, and this one XYZ A1, 2, 3, 4 is capital. Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire is capital as well. Format is hard copy, subject to fiction. Rental is 6.50. Available is copies 4. So everything is available here. So we have implemented many functions here in the book function, right? We have add, we implemented remove, the lend and receive, we did not do that, and display all, display available, display unavailable. So similarly, you can also do here. Ask him to enter the ISBN number. Actually, this is the thing. Here in the lend, very simple. I'm going to copy this and paste it. So if you want to lend, definitely you have to ask the ISBN number. And I equalize the ISBN number and get the match data. In the for loop, match data, check. I don't want to remove it. So simply say x dots copies. Yeah. You want to ask one more question, number of copies. So equal to input enter length copies. Right, before you lend, you have to ask what book to lend and how many pieces you want. Yeah. So I search for that ISBN and get the book. After that, I'm updating the x dot copies minus equal copies, the copy that you entered. So as I told you, you do your validations to make sure before you lend, make sure that the copy number of copy that he enter, it's not exceeding the available quantity, right? Let's say if we have 2 copies, you cannot lend 10. So you do your validation. But I'm showing you the basic things how to do that. So simply I'm reducing the copies and I'm saying that item length or book length. After I lent, I'm giving a message. This is how you lent the book. Now how to receive the book? Exactly the same. Copy this one. And instead of pass, call this one. Enter ISBN number. Enter okay. Enter received quantity maybe. What is this user? So now you have to say only the formula instead of minus, you have to put plus. So your copy will be equal to that copy plus the copies that you are receiving. So very simple. We did it already. We did actually all functionalities in addition to the display all, display available, display unavailable, and receive, So it's not book lent, book received, right? If you want book received, book received with underscore copies with 5 copies. So here you have to say F. So in that case, just giving a fancy message to the user saying book received with 5 copies, for example. Just I'm writing it book lent. So let us see how to lend a book. But after you lend, you have to make sure that lend a book. I'm going to lend a book, so I need to know the ISBN number. I'm going to copy this ISBN number 2, right? Which we have a 0 quantity. So I'm going to run now. Enter ISBN number. I'm pasting the ISBN number. Enter. It's asking enter the lend copy. How many copies you want to lend? And say I'm going to put 30 pieces. I have a problem here. The thing is here, I forget to tell you, that's why I told them in the school. The copies that you're entering, if whatever answer you get from the input, it's still string. So you have to convert it to integer, okay? So in that case, if you say enter ABCD, it will trigger an error. So you have to really maintain that. You have to do the try catch, use the try catch to identify the issues here. Okay. So wherever you are asking quantity, you have to convert the input to the integers. So now it will work. So here one, I don't want to use that number. I'm going to use number 3, which I have 3 pieces. I'm going to lend 1, right? Lent. So originally I had 3 pieces here. Then I lent 1 copy of that. Now I have 2. Now if I want to receive, same thing. Just run. I want to receive, oh, okay, I copy a big number. Number 2, and I'm going to enter receive copy. I'm going to receive 99 pieces, enter. So now you see, this one I received 99 pieces. Better we will receive another number. I don't know how it's copying automatically. If you practice one time, the second, third, and fourth will be very simple for you. Again, the same thing. Automatically. So I'm going to use the ISBN. ISBN 000. Already we have 3 copies. Now I'm going to receive 97 copies. 97 copies. Now it will be 100 copies. Now you have to combine all the things that you did in the book function. See, now it looks like bigger function, right? But initially you know that it's only 6 lines of codes. We just implement little by little, little by little, little by little, right? So now I'm going to use this book function on the main page. This is my main page, right? But there are so many. If we enter the sub menu, so in the sub menu, here is the thing. Display all book. You have to put a while condition here and then you have to call it here. First of all, you have to create an instance of that. So from book function, import book function. And after that, you create an instance for book fun is equal to book function. We create an instance of this class. Now you do all your things by using this variable. Let's say, let me copy my code because otherwise it will be taking a lot of time. This is too much of see the selection menu, and this is the resource menu. This is selection. I have so many conditions here. Oof, 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 oof. And here, I'll copy this. So this is sub menu. I'm going to paste it here. Oh, 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 oh. So, I'm going to remove it to make it all simple. So if it is 0, I'm quitting it. I am going to eliminate that because it's too much already. Right. I'm going to use the book function here. And book function add, book function remove, book function. Let me come and change the name. And I'm going to call the main menu. Okay, so we are good to go now. One is add, two is remove, three is available, display available, four is unavailable, five is what, length, six is receive. Length is the same function, right? Same name. Length, receive, and that's it. So it will work now perfectly, I hope. Welcome to OES system. I'm calling a main menu. Yeah, let's try this now. So I'm going to enter number one and press enter. Yeah, here add a space because of the variable is not functioning. Selected the source. Selected the source is a keyword, so I'm going to say selected the source is equal to book. So now it will work. So for the meantime, number one, press enter. See, add a book, remove a book, warning, display available book, display available. Now I'm going to say display available books, which is number three, and it's giving me available books because you remember that when I enter the books, right, the book function, one with the zero quantity initially, so that is not available. The other one are available. Now press any key to continue. Enter. Now the menu is loading again. Number four, display unavailable books. So only one book is unavailable. Okay, this is the new function that we wrote. My function is completely different, but here this is the new function that we wrote everything. So here it's not handling any validations. If we enter anything, it will accept. So now we have to make sure that we have to enter it in the right way. right? If you for the price, if you enter ABCD, it will accept ABCD. We are not validating it here because if I validate and everything, the line will be more and the time will be, it will take a lot of time. So it's unnecessary for you. You can search and you can find it out how to validate that. Because I cannot share my code, otherwise I will be sharing it. It will be a problem for me and problem for you too. See, here I will show you how I validate that very simply here. In every place, right? Whenever you enter ISBN number, and if the ISBN number is empty, I'm saying invalid ISBN number, and I'm return quit from there out. And I'm saying call operation cancel, small message call operation cancel. I'm saying invalid ISBN number, comma, operation cancel. Now, if the title is empty, I'm giving invalid title. If the format is empty, invalid format. The subject is empty, the same thing. Now, once it comes to the price, whenever user enter the price, I convert it to float. I don't know what is entering. Maybe enter ABCD. On that time, I'm trapping the value error. If you enter ABCD, invalid rental price per day, operation cancel. Other than that, it will continue. Why? If we enter the right number, it will continue, no problem at all. The same thing with the copies. I'm asking them enter number of copies, and if we enter wrong, I change the copy to 0 because sometimes you can register the items to the library systems with the 0 copies. No problem with that. So here, if we enter something ABCD, I consider that 0. If we enter the right number, I take the right number and continue. Then I'm checking whether you have this ISBN number already. So if the ISBN number is available, I say duplicate ISBN number found, operation cancelled. Because sometimes you by mistakenly you're trying to enter the same item that you entered already, right, in the system. So that's wrong. So it will be cancelling. It will be the execution will stop here because I don't want to enter the duplicate. If all the conditions are perfectly all right, then I am inserting it. This is my adding function here. Now in the removing function, similarly, same thing. I'm asking ISBN number. After that, I'm checking whether is there a match found. If the match found, I'm doing nothing. If the match is not found, I'm saying invalid ISBN number because you are trying to remove some box which is not available in the system. So why should I remove it, right? I'm giving a message invalid ISBN number and then I quit. So if you enter the proper ISBN number, then I'm asking in additional layer, I'm asking, are you sure you want to remove this one? Are you sure really you want to remove it? Or maybe by mistakenly you enter this one? Then if you press yes, then I'm erasing it from my system and I'm giving a message to them. So these are the additional layers of control. That's very important for the system, right? And similarly, if you want to land, I'm asking ISBN number and I'm checking whether the ISBN number is available. If the item is not available, again I'm giving to them invalid ISBN number. If the item is available, then I'm asking enter number of copies and checking that copy whether you enter the right entry. If you enter something wrong, invalid number of copies to land, return. If the copies are perfectly all right, again I'm asking a message to them, are you sure you really want to land? Yes. Then I'm coming here and then checking the number of copies available for the book. Right? Let's say you are coming and asking me, can I borrow 100 pieces? But I have only 10 pieces. How can I lend you 100 pieces? In that case, I'm checking it here. If something goes wrong, I'm telling them not enough copies available to lend. So I don't have enough copy, brothers. I cannot lend you. Otherwise, I'm lending them and giving a message. These are the conditions that definitely it will give you added points to you for your project. Okay. So here we did everything, but without any validation. So you should be, your user should be very perfect in entering data. Okay, now with the new functions, we will try to add a book. Number one, adding a book. Enter ISBN number. So I'm going to put ABCD 0001. Enter title XXXXX. Format XXXXX, subject XXXXX, even the rental price I'm going to put XXX, copies XXX. That's it, books added because you don't have a validation, right? So the book is added to the system. Now how to see that? Display all the books which is number 3 and enter. Okay, yes. Here we have a problem here because the XXXXX, it's thinking because we have a condition in XXXX copy is greater than 0, right? So XXX, the string cannot be greater than 0. That's error occurred. So you have to really validate your data. That's very important for you to validate. Let me try to add the book. ISBN number ABCD0001, title SSS, format SSS, object SSS, rental price, better to put something like 15.33 and copy 6. So the book's added. Now if I say display available books number 3, oh really? What happened here? Greater than, not supported between instances of str and okay. Again, when you say display all here, that's a different issue actually. The copies greater than 0 is not supported here because it's asking number of copies. You see, okay, length, okay. Here, you see, copies should be integer. So you have to convert it to integer. You have to be this you can line by line, and the rental price should be float. Because the list can contain any items. It can be a string, it can be a number, it can be an integer, right? It can be a float. So when you are filtering later on, you'll have a problem. So better make sure that you are entering an integer and the float. Then you can use the conditions. Otherwise, it will be a problem for you. So let's try number 1. Add a book. ISBN number XXXX1111. Rental price 15.50, copies number 6. So books is added. Now number 3, that's perfectly alright. Now you can see your book that you add XXXX111 SSS and 15.50 available is 6, right? And what happened to the yeah, there are unavailable books, which is number 4, display unavailable books, and there's one unavailable books. Shall I lend a book now? I'm going to lend a book. Yeah, I'm going to lend a book which is number 5. The ISBN ISBN 0002. How many pieces are there? Oh, 02 is no longer available. 3 pieces. I'm going to use 3. Again, we have an issue here. Oh my god. Please type the number of your choice. Yeah, sorry. This is the menu actually. In the menu area, I enter this option. Lend the book, which is number 5. It's not working. There is an issue here in number 5. Yeah, it should be. It's a function, right? A function should be open and close bracket. And with open and close bracket, I forget to put that because I copied and changed it here. Number 1, number lender function. Now it's asking the ISBN number, ISBN 0003. Enter the number of copies to lend. I'm going to copy lend to book length and display available, which is 3. So now you can see only 1 is available from 3. So this is basically, this is what I want to tell you. So see, actually I was explaining you and doing the project in 2 hours. We almost finished the book thing. So if you spend another 2 or 3 hours, you can complete all of them. But what I'm suggesting you, don't do everything immediately. Do the first the model. So it's very easy, and don't touch this file anymore. Leave it and create another function. So every resources, create a model and create a function for that. In the function, as I told you, create one called add and do pass, and then remove pass and go and do one by one. After that, test your program thoroughly and do all the necessary validations, right? Like it's empty or not empty, this one, that one. If it's a float, integer, use try and catch, or use a convert function if you know very well. Use all of them and try everything. Finish the book first clearly. After that, copy, paste, create function called cd function, paste it there, and just change, one by one book and finish it. That's how I did it. So all four other three I completed within like something like around 2 hours. All this one, but the first one it took a lot of time for me because even may have no idea in Python much. So that's it. I hope maybe you gain some idea from this because they did not explain this much details in creating classes and get to use the packages. It's not package actually. It's they call that. That's the term words in Python. Like you are using a one function. Package means multiple things into one folder. You are importing that. That's called package. This is module. You are inserting the book module. This is a book model, but they call it module. Just import that module and using it here. So, we have any questions here? I think sometimes maybe it's we feel that why all of this one. This is one of the easiest way. In this, if you create an instance of the book function, this is what we did. We create one function called book function, and we keep it here in the memory. So this until the form is closed, whatever you have it on this inside the function is available for you. That's why we are adding, removing, we are doing everything by keeping this object. When I create the object, what's happening is going to the book function. It's doing all the execution parts. It's inserting all these three records instantly. And if you use this function wherever add, remove, and everything, it's keep on keeping all the data in the memory. So, but now we are in a while loop. Actually, we are looping and looping and looping and looping unless until you enter 0 to quit. It's continuously doing that task. Okay, any questions? Okay, I can listen my microphone, but I cannot. I don't see anyone speaking. Guys, anyone? Any idea? Anything to ask? What is Yajika? Yajika is still here? Yajika or Yajika? Yajika maybe. Yeah, what is the problem, brother? You said like identity. Let me close this.